How's it
Oh,
going,
yay.
Sha?
Oh, it's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. A relatively empty laundromat.
Ooh.
And I was able to make a run. Well, my PMS made a run to Family Dollar and got 2 types of cookies and a bag of chips.
Okay.
So we got a long night ahead of us of eating and being slightly uncomfortable, but relatively happy. I
That-
can't complain.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
So, because you know how crucial that can be, making sure that you have the right kind of premenstrual snacks.
Yeah, no, for sure. I obviously don't have the experience directly, but I've
Right.
helped Gabby. And like I'm always impressed with the range that she'll show. Like it'll start off with like healthy. She'll be like, I want 2 tangerines and like sour cream and onion ridges. And a
Right, which
nutty
is what I
bar.
bought, actually, sour cream and
There
onion
you go.
rings. It is a PMS staple.
Yo, that should be their brand. Yo, real talk. Lay's is missing on an opportunity right there. Frito-Lay
Yeah.
gotta hit them up. Do the ridges, the Ruffles with the sour cream and onion. That's an opportunity there. That's an underserved demo. Like, I think all the potato chip commercials just show guys at football parties. Like,
They really do, yeah.
yeah. They
Well,
really
I
gotta
think
do that.
because it just looks better, the guys, you know what I mean? It's like camaraderie and stuff. Women are not getting together to eat chips. It is a much uglier affair, I think. The PMS snacking, it requires, a couple of blankets, one for you, one for the crumbs, and a total disregard. It's freedom. It feels great, but it looks terrible.
Okay.
So when you are encountering someone who is going through PMS and they are eating you out of house and home, and you want to stop them, but they look slightly crazed, please know that they are having the time of their life. But if you do anything to even address it or acknowledge it, they will bite your head off.
Yeah.
Because they are biting. They are biting everything. So, so definitely, just give them water and back away slowly.
I've noticed too that like whenever this stuff is happening, I also notice that this is when I have to tolerate Gabby's worst taste in TV shows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it'll coincide with like a lot of like WB vampire shows.
Oh sure, yes, no, yeah, I get that. Yeah, you definitely want to watch bad things. No, that's true.
Yeah, I've I don't even know the names of them. I just know there's 2 of them. They're related to each other. There's like a main vampire show. And then there's another vampire show where like, oh, these are those guys, but like they went out of town and they started a new town. The vampires over here, and I'm like, all right, that just feels like that could have been like a trip, and you need another show for that. She's like, no, this is a different show. And the only reason I know the second show is because it stars like a really handsome black guy that I think is mixed, but I'm not sure. And I only know him. The only reason I remember him is because he was in a commercial for Taco Bell where like they were trying to show how fun and hip and young Taco Bell eaters were. So like in the commercial, him and his friend, they had like a impromptu like race on the street. And this guy, they were like in a beach setting. So like they were on the boardwalk and this guy decided to race against his white friend shoeless while his friend had sneakers. So he loses the race. So I'm like, yo, like you embarrassed us as a group. Like I just felt terrible. Like there's no way this guy would have beat you racing. You're in phenomenal shape. But of course, you're shoeless out there. You don't got the arch support, to be racing people on the boardwalk like that.
Here's a fun fact about Taco Bell you may not know. The average Taco Bell patron does not care about arch support and is in fact shoeless more often than not. So it may seem very irresponsible to you, but Taco Bell knew what they were doing.
Okay.
Yeah,
They nailed the
they
target
definitely
demo.
were speaking to whoever it is who is walking around shoeless and willing to race at the beach. They have definitely had Taco Bell within the past 12 hours of whenever you catch them like that.
Never mind it. Impressive target demo advertising.
Yeah,
Major
yeah,
kudos to them.
it's very they went very granular with it, but they definitely they, they definitely were like, we want to just take it down to the smallest possible way we can to speak to our people. We want like direct, like short of actually calling out someone's name. How do we let them know that Taco Bell is for them? And they said shoeless racing on the boardwalk, and they were like, absolutely,
That's
that's
it.
absolutely yeah.
That Shalewa, I swear I think about that commercial like once a week. Like that shit bothers me.
And we still don't. And then that young man went on to become a partial vampire.
Yeah, he's he's a vampire, and like he was kind of in charge of this city, and then like one of the white boys from the main show left the main show to come to this show, and he's like that guy's like father vampire. I don't know what you call it. So like
I don't know the vampire.
yeah, I don't know the vampire
hierarchy.
lingo. Like this is me piecing it together while like trying to make sandwiches in the kitchen and make small talk with my wife. I'm like,
Who doesn't want to talk because she's trying to pay attention to these vampires.
she's fully
That's where
in.
you're going wrong.
She's fully
Just-
in. So I just step back. But there just comes times I'm like, I'm just asking too many questions. Like, so like right off the bat, right? Like the vampire from the Taco Bell commercials, he like submits to the father vampire, but they look like the same age. So like I'm like, why did the other guy win? And she's like, oh, because he has more powers, because he's the OG vampire. He's the black vampire is powerful too, but he isn't as powerful as that guy because that's where he gets his power from, kind of thing. So
Gotcha.
I'm like, so I was wondering if like athleticism transferred to like you being a vampire. Like if LeBron became a vampire, right, would he be exponentially more powerful than other vampires? Like, or is he just...
Honestly, it depends on when you become a vampire. That is why they look the same age.
Yeah.
So because you become immortal, right? But they got to catch you at that time. So if we're sticking the LeBron of now,
Right.
We're going to get the LeBron of right now.
Forever.
So we will get the benefit of whatever the benefit of LeBron's athleticism is, that is what we would get, but it is also waning because he is starting to get over the hump of, I mean, he's still, don't get me wrong, he's still great. He's doing wonderful things, but I mean, he is also coming up on that age where he could stub a toe and his whole leg could shatter. And you're like, what the fuck? And it's like, well, you've been working him like a horse since he was 13. What do you expect? So we're getting to that. So if we can, so it's not as strong as LeBron at his strongest. Therefore, the vampire version would not be the strongest version of LeBron because that's not when we stuck the fangs in him.
Right.
And I honestly, this is all based on me reading the whole Vampire Chronicles by Anne Rice when I was like in my 20s. So that I would go to a Kroger and buy a mass market. I'm like, all right, I'll start reading Interview with a Vampire. Okay, I'll go with the Vampire Lestat. All right, sure, whatever, Queen of the Damned. And this is just what I'm piecing together. So it's funny that you would say that because I don't know if you remembered how on a previous episode you mentioned your 3 favorite base human feelings, and one of them was peeing after an emergency.
Right.
There is a passage in one of those, like maybe Interview with a Vampire or something, where the guy is a vampire now, or he was a vampire, but now he's human. And I think this is it. And so there's a feeling that he can't understand that he has, that he's just like I don't know how to satisfy this feeling. And then it turns out that he takes a piss, and that's what it was. As a vampire, you don't know that release because you're not peeing anymore. You're not a human.
Yeah.
So he peed and he was like, oh, and he's like, oh, wow, y'all have to do that a couple of times a day. So anyway, as you were saying that, that's what came in my head, which is why it's so funny that we are even discussing teenage vampires and how LeBron would do. But that is, anyone out there who is equally versed in basketball and vampire lore, let me know if I'm correct on that. Because I'm not sure.
We study the real news here on the War Report, damn it. All right. We do the deep dives here. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get into the news, shall
All right.
SpaceX Mars rocket prototype explodes during tests. That's right. An experimental SpaceX rocket exploded at the end of a high-altitude test flight on Tuesday. But heavy fog at the site left even SpaceX at least publicly uncertain about exactly what caused the explosion. SpaceX CEO Elon Musk did confirm the explosion on Twitter, though, saying at least the crater is in the right place. That's optimism right there. Okay. All three of SpaceX previous launches of prototypes for the model of rocket crash landed or exploded shortly after landing.
That's why I don't know why they were unsure as to where this one came from. Which none of them have done right. They've all exploded. What do you think? Oh, I wonder if it was the. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, whatever you thought it was.
It was the thing you made. Yeah, the human-made thing. That's what did it. Yeah, the experimental rocket blew up like those before.
This is why I won't buy a Tesla yet. Like, real talk. I don't feel like it's that far apart. Like, I'm not saying get the space, but like, my man ain't even take off. Like, this is just the start key you can't get right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that scares me as a Tesla driver. Like, you ain't got the button? Like, just the on button is already causing problems?
That's my issue, and I've not been in a Tesla, so I'm not sure exactly how they work, but to me it looks like we are trusting an iPad to do all the thinking, and I'm not down with that. Like, I need to be able to put oil in the car. Do you know what I mean?
I
need to be able to roll up and down the windows when I need to. There are things that I feel like you need to be able to get to in a car, because if you're driving this car across the country and shit happens, first off, if you call AAA and you have a Tesla, they're going to send out who the closest dude is who's affiliated with AAA, right? How do I know in some podunk town that they are really up to date on Tesla technology? So now I got a guy out here just like, well, where am I supposed to even put these jumper cables? And I'm like, I don't know. I can't open the hood because I'm not the right robot. It's bullshit. I don't know why you need your car to do all of that. I'm already worried about computers in cars as it is, not on like some old, that's how they get you, but just like ease of use.
Yeah.
And if something goes wrong in those cars, the first thing they want to do is, well, we're going to have to run a computer check. That's going to cost you like $300 just to turn the computer off and on in the car.
Really?
Like,
yeah. I feel like that. I get mad when they tell me that we ran a computer diagnostic, $150. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, listen, you plugged in a USB cable. You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't get all crazy. You know what I mean? You didn't know. You know, like 10 years ago when you took that class at ATT Tech or whatever it's called, you know what I mean? Whatever your fake school is called, they ain't tell you nothing. Hey, you didn't know that this was going to be your future. You know what I mean? You didn't know you were going to be plugging in this cable into this computer. All right, so don't take it out on me just because this computer took your job away. You know what I mean? Like, because they do it because it's double angry. Like, you get a pissed off mechanic. Like, because he's mad at you right off the bat because you showing up in one of these computer having cars. So he's doing it with an attitude. He's like, oh, I got to deal with this nonsense today. Now, I mean, you don't got no real car with an engine. You know what I mean? I got to plug into this, you know. Like, he sees his kids just because I brought my car. You know what I mean? It has a computer in it. So I don't even know what it's like if you brought like a Tesla to like a real mechanic.
Right.
I ain't trying to deal with that attitude.
Yeah. You have to. It's like when you own any of those luxury cars where you need I think it's like the BMWs where you need a certain set of wrenches to get things off. I'm like, that's not, I'm hitting shit with a rock if I got to get, you know what I mean? Like, I got to go. I'm late for work, or they're going to stop selling breakfast biscuits in like 20 minutes. Like, I'm always on a deadline. I'm not just out chilling and then like, well, I guess if I find the right socket wrench, then I guess no, I need to go. So I am already upset about that. But then you add this where also, can we just talk about how Elon Musk actually knows nothing about space?
Yeah, real talk.
Or cars?
I'm not sure
Like,
what he knows.
I don't think
like,
knows.
And my man is really like pulling off the meanest fast one ever. Like just tricking everybody. Like, oh, you don't need college, it's books. I mean, no, you need like I need someone to explain a lot of these. I have questions. And my man just took that philosophy to the max. I need Elon to fail just so that I could still like have something to hold over my kids to make sure they go to school. Like Elon got so many people dropping out thinking they gonna start their own spaceship company.
But here's the thing, he is failing. He's failing all the time. But the failures need to become, the only thing your kids can learn is how to take those failures and fucking fail upwards.
Yeah, he's crushing that.
Right? He's failing upwards. And I mean, and it's not even that far upwards because the bitches keep exploding every time he's trying to do every time he's trying to go up, one of these rockets explodes. Oh my God, I can't believe he was just like, oh, it looks like the thing. Yeah, you idiot. How many times do we have to do this with you?
Oh man, I can't with this dude.
I know.
I cannot. Oh my goodness. Coronavirus likely spread to people from animal, but needs more study, says the new WHO report. That's right. The novel coronavirus that caused COVID-19 probably spread to people through an animal and probably started spreading among humans no more than a month or two before it was noticed in December of 2019, according to a new 120-page report from the World Health Organization. The search for its origin is still ongoing, however. I'm impressed with the WHO basically saying like, yo, listen, we don't know how to stop this thing, so we just gonna give you other information about how to stop. Like we haven't figured it out yet.
I guess they're just like, I guess it's just kind of like if we manage to figure out what animals we got it from, we will then yell at the animals. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do, because if it's an animal that we've already deemed delicious, I don't know how we're going to work that out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if it says here, it says a scenario where the virus spread via an intermediate animal host, possibly a wild animal captured, then raised on a farm, is very likely.
It hurts.
So that's already like many people in the middle of our country who's just raising fucking weird ass animals in their, ranch housing and calling it a zoo or whatever. So that's already an issue. But I mean, definitely let's try to figure out where it came from. Maybe sure. But I also would like someone working on like how to treat it when it gets here. I know it's a virus, but can we do anything more than, I don't know, wait it out, B? Like I'd like there to be like a salve or something, some sort of can we do that? Just something.
Yeah, because just I'm loving, that we're rolling out the vaccine, but at some point I want a treatment that like I don't got to sign a paper that says like, yo, just so you know, if you die, this ain't our fault because we told you we ain't run the tests on this.
Well, I mean, that's all of I mean, if they make a commercial for it and you sit through the commercial with all the side effects, that's literally you saying, "All right, I hear what it can do, but I guess I'll still ask my doctor about it."
But yeah, that whole line of everybody taking a vaccine, and just like it's a whole bunch of people just like reliving like Cameron's lines from like Paid in Full. It's like all of us just saying,
Yeah.
"Yo, but double up."
Oh, man.
Man.
I hope they narrow it down to an animal.
Yeah, I was really pro bat. You know, I don't like bats. That'd have been fine. You know what I mean? This farm animal thing makes me nervous. Yeah, that's all my favorite stuff there. I was cool with the bat
Yeah.
news. I was like, yeah, you know, whatever bats. I don't like them. They cool superhero, but outside of that, I don't like them things. But
Right,
yeah,
right.
cows, pigs, chickens, turkeys. That's gonna hurt me.
Yeah, yeah, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough for us to take. I don't know. I mean, like, that is putting a lot on a bat's shoulders. I mean, because I mean, bats also eat mosquitoes.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, I don't need you to be anywhere in my building, or any place where I can really see you. But if you're just out like in the neighborhood at night and you're eating mosquitoes, I'm not mad at you,
Okay.
bat. But also try not to shit in my water source so then we don't all get you know what I mean? Just little it just I don't know. We got to figure out how to work together with the bats. It's really
Let's congregate. You know what I mean? Let's meet it
yeah,
out.
we just need to just figure it out. Let's just I don't know, have a round table discussion.
That's it. Oh man, just meeting a whole bunch of bats over chicken soup and salad. Work this
Yeah.
out, you know?
Yeah, let's just yeah, let's see if we can get all like a Noah's Ark kind of
There
committee.
we go.
Just two of each animal. We're all sitting at the table. We're all just trying to hammer out how to get rid of this. For some reason, all of the animals are wearing glasses. This is how I see it. I see them all with pads and pencils and glasses, just trying to work all this out.
That's beautiful. Georgia voting law leads to call from some sports events to be moved or canceled. Georgia has a long history of attracting national sporting events, but a controversial new voting law might have severe repercussions for that tradition. A leading black civil rights group is calling on the PGA Tour to pull out of the up-and-coming Masters tournament in Augusta after Republican Governor Brian Kemp last week signed into law one of the nation's most restrictive voting rights. The new law imposes new voter identification requirements for absentee ballots, empowers state officials to take over local election boards, limits the use of ballot drop boxes, and makes it a crime to approach voters in line to give them food or water. Yeah, we talked a little bit about that part last time. That is insane to see in text. And Major League Baseball might be faced with this decision as well. They're currently on schedule to host this year's All-Star game at Truist Park, home of the Atlanta Braves. And this isn't without precedent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So first off, that ain't the home of the Atlanta Braves. So fuck that shit. That's some bullshit that they built on some white flight shit just outside of the city because I don't know, because they're scared. You come in, you bulldoze down a bunch of housing, you build the stadiums there. The neighborhood around it didn't turn lily white like you hoped. So now you're scared and you go up to fucking Northwest Atlanta, right where three interstates intersect and the traffic is horrible. And then you throw the Chick-fil-A dude's name on the fuck you. So that's on that. And that comes from someone who's not even a baseball fan.
I was about to say, like, of all the sports issues, Sean's like, no, this is my hill to die on right here. I ain't having this nonsense.
I will very strongly, because they started doing that right around the same time that the Hawks some report leaked on like they're talking about the makeup of the fans of the Hawks and how to not to change the fan base, which is mostly black, but how do we market better to them?
Right.
And people got mad because they were talking about the makeup of the racial makeup of the crowds. But it's like, yeah, but they're trying to at least still market to them because they're like, oh, okay, so we got a lot of black people coming and we're still doing white people shit. So why don't we do this? Why don't we start the games later? I don't know,
Yeah.
which is my favorite thought that they had. Let's start the games later. But instead, the Braves ran off on some white flight shit, and it was very upsetting. So that's the first thing. Secondly, I hear you about who's trying to the NAACP? Oh no, who's trying to get the Masters tournament to the PGA Tour to pull out of the that ain't gonna happen. Like that's not. It's called the Masters. They ain't gonna pull out. They're not gonna pull out. There's no way. And that's not even in Atlanta, which is like a big blue dot. I mean, Augusta might be a purple dot because there are a lot of black people who live in Augusta. I've got family there.
Okay.
So that alone ought to be like a fourth of it. But it's still the South, and Augusta is the South, and it's called the Masters. There's no fucking way that they're going to. I just remember people being upset seeing Tiger in the green jacket because they were just like, ew. And I'm like, why ew? Why? Because he's a brown person who won?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not ready. There's no way. I can tell you this right now. And the people who go to, y'all can forget that. Y'all can forget. I appreciate the power. They ain't gonna pull. But I appreciate it, and I think more people. We need to put the pressure on them. I'm so mad about this fucking voter suppression bill. I'm furious about it. So definitely apply the pressure wherever you can, if only to just like get the word out that that's going to happen. That people are on their ass. Stay on their ass for sure. But just understand that a thing called the Masters tournament may not give you the result you'd like.
Yeah, just so you know, Sha, my mission now is like at least once a month to get you to get on a soapbox. It makes me so happy. It's just
About sports?
And whatever it is, when you go off, it makes my day, Sha.
Oh man.
It's beautiful. Yeah, man, I'm wishing them luck. Mainly just because I think the organization sounds like black superheroes, like National Black Justice Coalition. Like that shit just sound like everybody got capes on over there, man. Major respect. I hope they get it done, and I hope something good comes of it. But if not, to your point, at the very least, they're bringing attention to it. Keep shooting your shots. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't know that the All-Star game was going to happen in Atlanta. All of your little sports breaks are going to happen in Atlanta because that it's wide open and ain't no one had a mask on ever.
Hey.
And so now you're just going to bring your little germy athletes to Atlanta.
Fingers crossed though, it did work once, right? In 2017, the NBA put the NBA Players Association put pressure on the NBA along with the public to move the All-Star game from Charlotte because they had recently passed their transgender laws, and they actually pulled the All-Star game. And after the laws were changed, they were given an All-Star game again in 2019, but it was only after those laws were repealed. It has been done. It's history. Admittedly, it is the league that is the most black. They're
the most understanding of leagues. Yeah. Yes. And I mean, like, I hope that it's a multi-pronged attack. I hope it's not like, well, we told them not to quit fucking with them over at the Masters. That ought to do something, right? And it's like, no. But I hope that there are other ways that we're getting at them. I know, I mean, I don't know how we tried asking Delta, and then something leaked from Delta that was just like, what leaked from Delta was very, well, okay, we've been working with the the elected officials, and here's what the voting rights law was. Here's what they voted on, and it passed. And they picked things and worded it in such a way where it's just like the most positive spin possible. A lot of spinning. And everyone's like, yeah, no, but we know the rest of it, Delta. So fuck you and your miles. So, absolutely, let's keep doing that. I mean, if this means I can't drink Coca-Cola, I'm okay with that.
I'm not supposed to
fine.
be doing that anyway for my sugar.
Yeah, think of how much stronger the city will be, y'all. The Coca-Cola's thumb has been on us for so long. We're so sluggish. Think of how much faster the acids will bounce if we ain't drinking Coca-Cola. Man, just like helium asses. So let's definitely put a hurting on them.
There we go.
But yeah, we got, let's hit Home Depot, fuck them up. They're based out of there.
There you go.
Let's do a multi-pronged thing. But sports, we're going to have to do better than the Masters.
Yeah, that's got to be our last shot. We can't go at them first.
Yeah.
We need momentum to go into that one.
Yeah, I mean, unless they're going to, we absolutely, we don't start with the Masters. The Masters is not, that's like the caboose. That's not the front of the train. That should be like, and introducing the Masters. You know what I mean? It's not. It's not the beginning of the credits.
Authorities are searching for 3 teens who escaped from an Oregon correctional facility. Authorities are searching for 3 teens who escaped from a youth correctional facility on Oregon on Sunday. The teens assaulted a staff member and took their keys before leaving through a hole in the fence surrounding McLaren Youth Correctional Facility. The teens, identified as Preston Andreezy, 19, Anthony Fitzhenry, 18, and Christian Going, 17, lived in the same unit. They are considered a safety risk to themselves and others. The staff member who was assaulted was released from the hospital and is in contact with authorities as state and local law enforcement agencies continue with the search. This is the first escape from the facility since perimeter fencing was installed around 2000. So staff members at the facility do not carry guns or weapons. They just setting them up to fail.
Wait, hold on. So this fence has been up for 21 years?
Yeah.
And they just found a hole?
Yeah.
Like, they're not keeping up the fence?
Yeah, I gotta say, like, all things considered, these are pretty well-behaved kids. Like,
yeah, they didn't. Did someone clip the fence? Like,
I don't even, like, in 22 years, like, that fence might not have even been clipped. That's just wear and tear. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, I felt initially, I was like, that's messed up, kids gotta behave better. That's 22 years of them just listening to people pointing their fingers aggressively. Like, nobody had weapons. It was just the fence. And they made it sound like teens initially. Like, these are adults. Like, like, this is just 3 men just listening to other people. Like, overall, I was impressed. Like, I don't even think this cop was, like, assaulted. It was just like he lost the conversation. It was just like, hey, listen, we about to leave.
I mean, they took the keys.
Yeah, but if it's like 3-on-1, like, you don't take the keys. You just convince the person to give you the keys.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, that depends on how strong these young men are. And I mean, I know you say that by the ages they're just young men, but I'm looking at these pictures, and I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
A couple of them, I don't know if they have really what it takes.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think they just grew those necks. Do you know what I mean? The necks just thickened up. So they may not quite know what to do with it. I feel, I'm not sure that their punches are honed perfectly.
No, that's fair. There's like a 4-year like period where like teens to young adult men, like, their Adam's apple is more like brolic than their shoulders. Like, they want to like be broad, but it's not. I see the potential, but it ain't there yet. They all look like Kevin Durant, like his rookie year. Like, like what he's gonna become, but he's still a scrawny kid right now.
Yes, right. So we got a little bit of scrum. I mean, like, I acknowledge, I'm looking at the pictures, I acknowledge the neck thickness, but there's still more to go. One of them's just pretty. One of them's just like Kurt Cobain pretty. So I don't know if he
My
really.
man broke out to record an album. He got a modeling deal.
Yeah, like, I don't know about that one. Um, so I don't know. But did they wait? Did they? Oh, they're still looking
Yeah.
for him. Oh Lord. Okay. I mean, where would you be if you were this young? I don't know. Have they checked like gas stations? Like just hanging out outside of gas stations.
All these dudes at a Wawa right now.
Yeah, just kind of, just sitting outside of Texaco or something, just nothing to do, drinking whatever the version of Four Loco is right now for the kids. Do kids even have like a wild, crazy beverage
That's a good
right
question. I don't
now?
know. I gotta ask my siblings. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good question. I know that my brother was telling me he's not like a beer guy, and then he wouldn't tell me more because like my parents came back in the room.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure, that's
so I
fair.
was like, all right, I'm gonna get to the bottom of that later. I gotta like dig
Right.
in, like A, to know what they doing, and B, to be like in the know of like current references. So like he keeps me
Yes.
he keeps me in the loop. But yeah, he's like, nah, I don't do that. And then he said a whole bunch of weird words I ain't know in order.
Where you like, slow down. I'm typing these words into TikTok. I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about. Slow down, young man. My thumbs ain't as agile as they used to be.
Like I'm in 3 letters now when I try to press down, man. You gotta give me some time.
Oh man, I feel like the life has left my fingers. It takes me like 4 taps to get anything to happen. I'm like, am I alive? Am I tapping hard enough? I swear I'm gonna break my phone just trying to tap it.
I got mad at him the other day because he said I text like an old person. Like, what do you mean? He's like, you use full sentences and you over explain stuff. I'm like, that's because I'm talking to you. Like, I'm not sure you understand. So I'm being clear. Like, that's not how old people talk. That's how people talk to you. You should assess that. That's not a old person thing. That's a adult not being able to rely on you thing.
That's so funny. I use punctuation. Like, I end with periods.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. That's just how I write.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. Like, I feel like it's on these people who are just like, if you end with a period, I think you're furious at me. And I'm like, well, that's on you. I ain't saying nothing to you. I'm ending a sentence.
Exactly.
I'm done talking. That's all that is.
Listen, I use periods, commas, and dashes.
Yep.
All 3 of those is in there. I'm mixing them up. You need to know when I took a breath. You need to know when I'm breaking my thought. Listen.
Yes.
I'm doing all of those in there. Why not? The fact that you don't confuses me.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what is this all in one breath? Did you even breathe? How did you say all of this? It's a lot. Yeah, I don't know if people really understand that. If we weren't taught how to read the context of things, we would never understand what your texts were. I don't know if they're teaching the kids how to read context clues, but I swear to God, I don't even know. I have to like read things a few times before I'm like, oh, that LOL is a mean one. You know what I mean? I'm just supposed to know immediately, man. Fuck that. If you can't put a period, I don't know what your problem is.
Yeah, like I was talking with my sister about that. She's like a big reader, but she's also like a modern texter, like the rest of her generation. And I was like, all right, so like you got to understand that like. I'm not saying the way you communicate is ineffective. I'm just saying that no one in your generation will write like The Catcher in the Rye, right? Like you're aware of that. Like that, y'all are just like giving that up. Like there's just no way there's gonna be a great American novel with emojis in it. It's just not gonna happen. I'm sure you'll create great art. It's just It's never gonna be that.
Right. Exactly.
That's it. She's like, okay, that's fair. We'll wave the white flag on that. Nike is suing Lil Nas X over his Satan shoes. That's right. The Nike filed a federal trademark infringement lawsuit on Monday against the company that released the controversial customized version of its sneakers in collaboration with Lil Nas X. the Old Town Road artist worked with Mischief to release his Satan shoes on Monday. The sneakers are modified Nike Air Max 97s, decorated with a pentagram pendant, reference to Luke 10:18 Bible verse about Satan's fall from heaven. They also contain red ink in the sole and a drop of human blood, donated from different members of the Mischief team. All 666 pairs of the modified Nikes, priced at $1,018, again referencing the Luke quote, were sold out within 1 minute when they went on sale on Monday. So yeah, this is wow, like, to me. Drops aren't a new thing, right? Like, Nike can't act like they didn't know about drops until these sneakers. They've been letting companies do exclusive drops this whole time. They can't say they're anti, like, demonic imagery. They're super pro hip hop. I'm sure they've, like, been okay with, like, DMX wearing sneakers, with, 3-6 Mafia wearing sneakers, Bone Thugs and Harmony's been wearing sneakers. They never once made complaints about this. They can't say they're mad about the blood thing. They are completely fine with the blood being on the sneakers when little children make them. They're apparently just mad when they're
Yo, watch out, Gastor shooting. Gastor out here like, pew, pew.
Like, yo, like, why is all this issue? This is strictly like anti-gay thing. That's really why, like, it bothered me. It's just, the dude made a really crazy video, and it has, like, real talk, the video's fire to me. Like, it's incredible. I am, he decided to do some boundary pushing, super trolling video. You have to be aware of it. Like, that's him being like, yo, like, I'm gonna poke fun at y'all and, mess with the fact that y'all don't like this about me. And he leaned into it. But for the most part, I feel like everyone that saw the video that's complaining is like a super conservative, like, closeted gay person who's very jealous that they're not this flexible. Like, the dude twirled down the freaking stripper pole. He did an incredible lap dance. I couldn't get in that position if you paid me all the money in the world, Shy. Like, I can't throw my legs that high up on a chair backwards,
Nope, that's a very good point. That's
an elevated push-up that he's doing right there. That's craziness, And y'all only seeing the edited footage. He was in that position for hours shooting that video. You don't know the work that went into that. He's in phenomenal shape, So yeah, I was just impressed, like, as an athlete. Lil Nas X, he did something incredible in this video. Made a pretty quick, catchy song. Made a aesthetically impressive video as well. And they're just mad because a gay guy did it. That's all it is. That's all I could see. And major props also for him being gay and annoying two different genres of music at once. I'm like in awe of it, like, if he found a way to, like, fit in, like, reggae, like, he would have touched all the, like, mucho macho.
So I guess Nike was very concerned that people would think that Lil Nas X did a collabo with Nike. And so they're just like, wait, we don't have anything with the blood on the inside of the shoe. And I think if you look at it, for those who are having an issue with that or didn't realize that these are not, like, these weren't made by Nike, if you think of it as pieces of artwork, because that's how I looked at it. They made a piece of art, which is a Nike style shoe, styled after a Nike, with the stuff and the blood and the scripture and all that stuff. They made 666 editions of it, and it sold for whatever it sold for each. And they sold the art like you'd sell a sneaker as part of the whole thing. It totally made sense to me in that way. Once I was like, oh, Nike had nothing to do with it, because at first glance I was like, I know Nike ain't putting no blood in their damn shoes. Like, I know they not that clueless, right? And so then But also, I will say that my best friend sent me a message yesterday and was just like, "Well, I saw the Satan shoes and they really weren't all that cute. I guess maybe for the." And I'm like, I'm so glad that I have friends that legit were like, "Well, I wonder if these Satan shoes are going to be cute."
Low-key, I thought they were hard. I would have rocked the same shoes.
Well, here's the thing. She didn't think it was cute, and it's more of just like an age and taste thing. That's just not where we're not big on sneakers that look like that anyway.
Right.
So like if they had made like honestly, if they had made like, my brand is the Saucony Jazz.
Okay.
If they had made like a shoe that looked like a late 70s, early 80s running shoe.
Okay.
That the Beastie Boys would have worn in their heyday in the mid 90s, then we would have been like, well, now that's a cute shoe. I don't know why there's blood on it, but I get it. You know what I mean? Because that's just what our sensibility is.
Okay.
That's the aesthetic we like. So that's literally, it was just from a fashion point of just like, I'm not really big on the Nike Air Maxes, so I didn't really like the shoe. I thought it was a bit, but maybe it's for younger people. And I'm like, yes, younger people who want blood in their shoes. Yes, absolutely.
Hey, listen,
but yeah,
I gotta say, like, for a shoe with blood, like if you'd have told me, hey, yo, Gastor, there's gonna be a shoe that's like, satanic theme, it's gonna have blood on it, I would have thought it would have been allowed to sing. It's pretty subdued. Like, it's a pretty, like, mellow sneaker.
Like, if they didn't say the blood, I'd never know the blood.
It's just, that's cool to use red in the heel. Like, it just looked nice. I like it.
Right.
I would definitely rock them. I wouldn't pay $1,018 for any sneaker. I'm not at that place in my life. That's too much, too close to a mortgage payment to me for that to be happening. But the sneaker itself is dope. I really like it. I like the idea of it. The only thing that blew my mind is he sold these sneakers in conjunction with the promo for the album and the single and the video, and it's not even in the video. It's no way near, like, he has just these really long leather boots in the video.
That's the trolling.
Yeah.
That's the trolling. That's the artistry of it. I mean, if you want to look at it like that. I mean, like Nike right now, they're just like, people are saying to boycott us, but we didn't make the shoe, so we need to protect our swoosh and yada, 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 yada. And, it's pop art. They don't like how it is, but it is pop art. But yeah, that's the trolling aspect of it. I mean, like, not only did Lil Nas X troll, people who are homophobic, he also trolled Nike.
Mm-hmm.
He trolled the whole drop idea, like how to buy these things, all just from a song. And really, the main thing that no one's talking about is that the song is called Montero, Call Me by Your Name. Lil Nas X's name is Montero. My man's name is Montero something. Like, that's his legit first name.
Yeah.
Why are you going by Lil Nas X? You got a stage name already. You've been named a stage name. Your name is Montero? You are either a performer or an SUV. Like, what are you?
Yeah, I got that Montero 4.6.
Yeah, you are destined. I'm just surprised he didn't just roll out on that. Because, I mean, if he went by Montero and then did all of that, the butchness necessary, that's another way of fucking trolling with people. The whole time I'm just looking at all this and I'm like, this nigga's name is Montero? Like, I always concentrate on the wrong things. Like, when Old Town Road got really big and he was making the video and they're showing him behind the scenes making the video and all this stuff, that he started out as a Nicki Minaj stan.
Yeah.
and all this controversy within country music about whether or not you can count it as country, and it's like, well, why wouldn't you count it as country? And they're like, well, and it's like, okay, you guys got caught back on your heels there, and all of this other shit. And so now, then he was making the video, and I'm just watching the making of it. I'm like, all this shit, this nigga had to learn how to ride a horse. Look at this. He's just trying to troll. This nigga got to ride a horse now. No, it's just amazing. Like, really, the twists and turns that his life has made, and he's been named Montero this entire time. I don't know. There's just something about that being his name, and I'm like, you are already ready for the stage.
Shouts to Montero. Nah, man.
Shouts out to
Name your
Montero.
kids Montero, you know?
Okay, well, I mean, let's see if they're worth it. Luckily, he has shown himself to be Montero worthy. But I mean, if you're just like selling insurance, I don't know if you need to be Montero. No offense to anyone out there selling insurance. You're doing the Lord's work, kind of.
Facts. Yeah.
But also a little bit of the devil's work. Probably more devil than Lord, but whatever. That's for another time.
Oh, man. So, yeah, no sponsorship from Montero Capital coming soon. Dapper Labs, creator of the NBA Top Shot, gets $305 million in funding. The Canadian blockchain technology company Dapper Labs has secured $305 million in funding, some of it from current and former NBA players, including Michael Jordan, to scale up its virtual NBA trading card site, the company said on Tuesday. The Vancouver, British-based company says NBA Top Shot has rung up $500 million in sales and registered more than 800,000 accounts since its public beta testing phase began in October. For those that don't know, virtual trading cards come in the form of a floating digital cube that includes a video highlight of an NBA player and come with a non-fungible token backed by blockchain technology, certifying it's authentic and scarce. LeBron James dunk highlights sold for $210,000 recently, but more common cards can be had for less than $10.
Hold on now. Man, they really working fast on this non-fungi whatever.
Yo.
Like I'm a little surprised it took this long that we got to selling whatever it is that we're selling. A digital cube, a floating digital cube with a video highlight, and then something that's like, nope, this is real. None of this is real. I mean, I guess this is just the beginning of like, do you need it in your hand to be real? Like,
Yeah.
Here's a funny thing. Every time I see non-fungible, my brain reads non-tangible.
Okay.
Because it's a non-fungible or whatever token. I see non-tangible. So I'm like, is this even tangible? Like every time I see it, I'm just like, is this even real? Because my brain is like, that ain't even tangible. And I'm like, I know, right? I still don't understand it.
See, I don't believe
like
in it so little. Like, I believe in it so little that it's like, when I read it, like, to me, it says, nah, for real, though? You know, like, that's what that's what those three letters mean to me.
Yeah. Like, I just... All right. But I mean, virtual trading cards, it also feels very like, it's just all of these things being digital, and then you think you own it, and then you don't.
Yeah.
And I don't care if you send me like something online that's just like, no, this is yours, it's legit. And I'm like, but I don't a token that says, nope, this is yours. And I'm like, but think of anyone out there who's like a hardcore iTunes user or whatever.
Right.
Think of the music that you've purchased that then Apple just got rid of because they don't fuck with them anymore. And so now it's taken off of your computer because you bought it through them. Like what? And now I'm spending tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars on a fucking digital cube I can get at Target, maybe? I don't know. To me, it all looks like... when you say a floating digital cube, I just see like a glass cube with just like a picture in it that changes every once in a while.
Like the way they describe it to me, I'm like, yo, ain't we going backwards? It sounds like a screensaver from like...
Yes.
I don't want that. I mean, my computer fell asleep. Like, I'm going to just start moving my mouse. I don't want to see that thing.
So, yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't...
Yeah.
I don't know. Something about this doesn't sit right with me. If, just because you send me a whatever the fuck a token is saying that it's legit, how do I know that you're not going to decide like, no, we don't fuck with them anymore. Yoink off of your hard drive or whatever, and I don't get that money back
Yeah.
because I was taking a chance.
Nah, I don't believe in y'all that much. Like, it's just to me like everything in terms of like art that's online is going towards streaming. Like, it's going towards a way that we can share the experience with more people, not less. So, to me, like if there's a way of more people experiencing art for a smaller price individually, but all of that money going to an artist or to a basketball player in this case, I'd be into that. Like, that would make sense to me. But like over and over again, I think like we've seen that like, you can't buy the song anymore. Like it's not economically smart. You stream the song. You don't buy it out. I got a ton of DVDs I haven't opened in years, because I got Netflix now. Like I'm watching it.
Yeah.
So,
but we also have noticed that when the licensing deal is done, it's gone.
right.
Whereas you still have that tangible thing that you could play. And I mean, maybe I'm leading everyone towards a lifetime of hoarding, be it in real life or digitally. But like, I don't like, I don't know. I made the decision when I moved from Atlanta to New York to not bring all of my I didn't bring any CDs with me, actually.
Okay.
I cleared out a lot of them, but I still have lots of boxes of CDs. I did not bring them with me. And I was just like, I'm going to rely on Spotify.
Right.
And I'm like, as much as I can. And just last week, I was looking up something that I know was on Spotify, but is now just like out of print.
gone.
And so it's not on Spotify anymore. And I'm like, well, ain't that some shit? Because I know where the CD is. It's in storage, and so it's just like if you truly enjoy it, why do I like today? I'm going to have to rush and watch a couple of movies because they're going to be gone from whatever streaming service, and it's like, well, this is my only chance or whatever. I don't know. I'm an old lady. I wanna watch what I want to watch, and I'd like it to be some semi-available.
That's fair.
And also, when it comes to the art, I mean, I know it seems like it is a very grassroots thing to want to open up and have art available for everyone. And there are a lot of people who are speaking, talking that talk, and a lot of museums and galleries and art collectives that's part of their goal. That's what they're trying to work towards. But the way that they're even able to be funded and all of that stuff is by extremely rich people paying a lot of money to be, I mean, like, just like anything else, to have the one of 3 copies,
right?
And not even display them anywhere. Maybe put them on loan at a museum or something, but just to have them. And they're paying so much. Oh my God, the money in the art world is ridiculous.
That's true.
I am learning. It is crazy. Like, yeah, that's just nuts. So this is a way to get like tech dudes who aren't even really into art now, but they're in the new tech shit. So yeah, they're gonna have a fucking digital cube of LeBron dunking.
Hey, all I'm saying, you're gonna see my new paintings coming out, Sha. I've been working hard.
Oh.
I got a couple paintbrushes. It's gonna be crazy.
I got a couple of paintbrushes.
I'm gonna make some heat. Y'all gonna see me in these streets.
He's ready. He's ready.
I even got an artist name. I'm gonna call myself El Martillo. You know what I mean? That's Spanish for the hammer. I don't know. It just felt right. Like, it just sounded.
Okay. The hammer.
I just feel like if I sign stuff like El Martillo and I just sign all my artwork like that, like people go, "Oh, yo, who's the hammer? Yo, that's crazy." It's gonna be part of the look.
All right, Banksy, do what you gotta do.
uh, where we at here? Penises are shrinking because of pollution, warns an environmental scientist. In case you needed another reason to care about the climate crisis, it has been found that pollution is causing human penises to shrink. A leading epidemiologist and environmental scientist has published a book which examines the link between industrial chemicals and penile length. Dr. Shauna Swan's book, Countdown, argues that our modern world is altering human reproductive development and threatening the future of our species. The book outlines how pollution is leading to higher rates of erectile dysfunction, fertility decline, and growing number of babies born with small penises. Though the headline fact about shrinkage may sound like a laughing matter, the research paints a bleak portrait of humanity's longevity and the ability to survive. This is sad news out there for the baby.
Wow, hold on. A growing number of babies born with small penises.
Yeah, I thought all babies were born with small penises.
Thank you. Do we have some literally born with the hammer? Is that what's happening?
I do remember when my son was born, like my aunt going to the hospital and saying that there's another baby with a huge penis. I remember that. Like, why are you like staring at baby penises, dear? And she's like, it was hard not to notice. Like they were changing them, and he just had an obscenely big penis for a baby. I was like, well, he's gonna have a bright and complicated future, but don't stare at the baby's penises while they're changing them in that room.
Right. Complicated future. Oh boy. Yeah, I guess showers start at birth. I don't know. Also, I mean, like, this is I am sympathetic to your plight, men. Now that your penises are getting smaller, or you're being born with small ones that won't grow, apparently. But I mean, I also would like to know what pollution is doing to, I don't know, ovaries.
Yeah, that seems like
we never look at those. I mean, there's shit that's happening to ovaries now that we truly were just like, I don't know, wait it out. And I'm like, you're a doctor. So I'm sorry that your penises are getting smaller, but what are my ovaries doing? I would have liked a 1-2 report on this. But I get it. No one's going to pay attention unless there's a dick.
Yeah.
Just like comedy. No one's going to pay attention.
That's a shame. Yeah, I expected more like more balanced talk. So I was like, all right, Shauna, this is your chance to like talk a little bit about women's issues. And she's like, nope. Some guy pissed me off, and I'm gonna put his biggest fears out there. He has his penis might shrink, or at the very least, his kid's penis will shrink. I'm gonna put it out there, see what happens.
That's a lot to worry about. I mean, like, you can't. I mean, that's just that's your fate. That's your fate. You'll be fine, because chances are you're going to be matched up with people who understand that the penises are smaller now. You know what I mean? Or they don't even know.
Right. That's just the average penis at that time.
Yeah, maybe we just don't tell the kids, in my day. Like, maybe we just don't do a little compare and contrast on that one. We just let them rock with it, and
that's it,
just be fine. They'll adjust. Everybody will have to adjust.
So like fathers, when you teach your kids how to pee, don't do an actual example.
Don't do that. You'll just make them feel so bad. Because if I'm not mistaken, you're already looking at, if you're a young man, you're already looking at your father's penis, and you're like, is this my future? Right? Is this what it's going to look like? And so if you're already been cursed or blessed with a smaller penis, I mean, it all depends on the curves. What is a curves going to look like? I mean, are these smaller penises curved as well? Let's talk about that. What's happening? Are they in loop-de-loops or curly cues? Because that's also an issue.
Yeah,
that I could see these chemicals also affecting.
I'm curious if this is like grower shower, like real talk. If I had like an option, I would actually pick like a penis that like fully went away when I'm not using it that way, and then only showed up when I needed it to pee or have sex. That would be the optimal. I would want the maximum like shower grower penis. You know? So if it's like only small when like I'm hanging out, that's great. Yeah. I don't got to worry about like randomly being hit in the nuts by kids hugging me, you know? Like all of those things are like concerns that I have,
Right.
you know, that would just instantly go away. I want like the extreme of this. Just fully embrace it.
Well, yeah. I will say I never thought of that.
Yeah. You know? People just think about the negatives. There might be some good to this, you know?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I think there's some positives, you know? I remember shopping when I started playing baseball. You had to buy cups, you know?
Yeah.
I couldn't buy the cup at the first Models because they didn't have my size. Would have been great, you know? Then I went to the other Models. They had nothing but the grown-up sizes. Like, oh, this is too far, you know?
Right. Too far. Too much.
Too much, B. I'm 9, B. Like, that's not me, you know? But I'm not I'm not in these Pee-wee leagues either because I'm not 7. I don't fit into that one anymore. You know, they need, but if I could control the size when needed, then I could have been like, yo, 7-year-old, 7 and under cup, I'm rocking with that bad boy for the baseball games, minimizes the area where the baseball could hit me, you know? And then,
that's true.
I'm telling you,
that does help with sizing.
There's a lot of advantages. And then, you know, when it's time to get frisky, okay, this is when I need you at your biggest. This is when it's optimal. I'm telling you, people don't think this through enough. There's options there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Everybody's just worried about the smallness, but they're not thinking about the functionality.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah. Gastor has really laid out an argument for you, listeners, that I think you will agree is very, I mean, it's kind of bulletproof.
Yeah. The only time I think like having your penis fully stretched out when you're not peeing or having sex is in the shower for like cleanliness. Like you want to get to all the crevices.
Right. Yes.
Outside of that, I gotta say, I think I might be pro little penis. Like, I think I've sold myself for this. You know, there's no menu option. I can't pick it now. Like I got what I got. You know, but
yeah.
If I had thought it through, like yo, big picture. You know,
big picture, little penis. That's the new show on TLC. A summertime series.
I know there's some plastic surgeon out there working on making bigger penises. No, I want you to work on making like adjustable ones. That's the future.
More adjustable. More options with what we've got.
Exactly. I want to like small, medium, and large it throughout the day. You know, whatever I'm gonna get into. Like, oh, we about to go hiking. Little penis time. Let's go. Beep beep. Hit the button. You know.
Hit the button.
You know. Somebody swipe right on your picture. Big penis time. Let's go. Boom. Let's get it. Maybe medium penis. We got to talk to her first. You know, I'm a gentleman. You know, see what she's into.
Exactly.
Maybe she's not into big penis.
Right.
But the option's there. I'm telling you.
Man, if we're not contacted by somebody in the medical community after this episode, I don't know what we're doing wrong. We're solving all the world's ills right now.
I need a job in science. That's what I do.
Well, let's not. I mean, we'll just call it consulting and we'll leave it at that.
OnlyFans model is trying to subpoena Reddit for users who pirate her content. After having her content stolen from her OnlyFans page and reposted to Reddit, adult performer Natasha Noel is demanding that Reddit hand over content thieves' full identities, including their usernames, legal names, addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, and IP addresses. On March 9th, the Florida-based attorney Jason Fisker filed the DMCA takedown request that includes dozens of links to Reddit posts that contained images stolen from Noel's private OnlyFans and other social media accounts. As reported by Torn Freak, Fisher then followed that request with a subpoena application on Noel's behalf in California District Court on March 23rd. Fisher referenced the same URLs that were included in the original DMCA takedown notice and demanded that Reddit disclose the full identities of users who posted the stolen content. Reddit spokesperson said, in accordance with Reddit's user agreement, we responded to valid DMCA takedown requests for cases of infringing or copyrighted materials and will action any users or communities in appropriate circumstances. Props to her for fighting back. Like I read this, I was like, yo, like there is so much free porn already as is available. Like, why are you stealing this young lady's work? Like, this is...
Let her make her money.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if I want to put it all on men, but I will. So it feels like men get so mad when a woman decides to use what she has to, move forward, get ahead, capitalize on her own body, on her own terms. Men get so pissed off and they're just like, okay, great. Well, we're just going to go ahead and leak it because how dare you put this behind a paywall? Yeah. How dare you think that you're so good that people should pay for it? And it's like, yeah, how dare we all? I think maybe we should all have a little bit of that kind of confidence. It's the same kind of confidence that makes you think that you are the end-all be-all of the internet and you can just yoink her shit and put it everywhere.
Right.
Like, that's bullshit. Because trust me, she's not mad because there are pictures of her out there on the internet that anyone can get to. It's because you had to pay her for that.
Yeah.
That's her stuff. You're stealing from her store, you're stealing her shit, and then putting it out there for free, no matter what it is.
Listen,
it's so upsetting.
The amount of guys who have given me atrocious mixtapes for $10, and y'all can't give this young lady $10. It annoys me because it's like, yo, listen, if you don't want it, just like you tell the mixtape rapper, nah, B, I don't listen to hip hop. Same thing.
Right.
Just tell the young lady, yo, this ain't for me. I got free titties over here, but I appreciate you doing what you do. Keep it moving. I'm not saying, you pay her just cause, but if you are a fan of her work, pay accordingly.
Right.
It's not a insurmountable amount of money for you to pay, but as a community, all of you doing it allows her to make a living. That's her work. That's her art. And in turn, you get to enjoy something specific, something like niche, something for you.
Right.
You get to make requests, But if you can't pay the whopping $10 fee, don't get mad and get on Reddit.
Then maybe it's not for you. Yeah. Stay with the free titties and that's fine. That's know your budget.
That's it.
Stay within your budget and don't get mad at those who are outside of your budget because you feel like it's free because someone else gave it to you for free. Not everybody's going to give you their shit for free. It's they're different things.
Exactly.
They're different items.
And just know your lane. That's it. Mate, some people get to jerk off to the full 1 hour video. Some of you have to learn how to deal with the 6-minute Brazzers preview, whatever it is. That's your lane. That's what you got. That's where you are in life, and that's fine. But yeah, like know where you are. Accept it. If you could get off to her like free content on Twitter, by all means. She's not saying no. She is posting it. But when you post the stuff on the OnlyFans, that's where I gotta side with the young lady here. Like you went too far. I'm rooting for no. I hope they release these names. Ready, get on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says we don't know how Noelle or her attorney plan to proceed if they do receive the requested information. But pursuing further legal action against the individual user seems like the obvious motivation for gathering specific identifying data like this. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me them names so I can go after each one.
Exactly.
Of you. That's nice.
I'm with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only thing I want bootlegged on Reddit is like links to like live sports games. Like I miss being able to just like stream a basketball game. But
Oh,
you know,
sure.
that was fun. But even there, like I felt like there was a middle ground. Like I'm not paying for like League Pass, but I'm watching the
Mhm.
commercials. So like I'm still
Right.
getting, you know, some of the money, like the target marketing is being done to me still, you know. But
Right,
here, you
yeah.
know, like you just getting free titties. That doesn't work in real life. It doesn't work
No.
digitally either.
No,
Okay?
exactly. How
The
dare you?
nerve.
I wish someone would try to fucking take my shirt off in public because how dare I put a shirt on
Yeah.
when these titties are supposed to be free.
Yeah. Free the titties
No.
is like the right of the titty haver, okay?
Yes.
Get it right.
Yes. The rights of the titty
Yeah.
haver.
On a semi-related note, Shy, real talk. Like I thought of like
Uh-huh.
you know, we got like the Capone and Noriega inspired cover art, you know. So
Right.
like I was thinking of like, you know, like maybe we should do another one, like you know, like once a year, maybe like have fun, redo other covers. We did like a New York one.
Mhm.
I was like, I should do like an ATL one. So I was trying to do like, let me get like an Outcast cover. But like all of my favorite Outcast pictures, my man, he got a titty out. And I'm like, I don't know which one of us would have the titty out, but I don't feel like either one of us is like nipple out kind of people, you know? So yeah, I'm stumped. But if you find an iconic picture of Andre 3000 with his nipples covered, we can redo that for the next one.
I mean, I'll look. That's not really. I'm exclusively looking for pictures of Andre 3000 with his nipples out, but I may have some
Yeah,
with him dressed. I'll
it's
see.
tough, you know. And like, and the thing is, like, as a straight guy, I've accepted it just because whenever his nipples is out, that's when he dropped the hardest bars. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I didn't even care anymore. Like, yo, you seen his abs? Like, yo, you heard them 16? No, that's crazy. He's killing it out there. Now, I hope he never gets a shirt on. That album is fire.
I will search for you and see what could be found.
Okay. I'm convinced that's the only reason he don't rap no more. He just finally got into shirts. He was like, yo.
Yeah, that could be it. Yeah, he is wearing overalls now. We're never going to hear from him again.
I'm telling you, if he loses his wardrobe, whew, that comeback album will be amazing. Japanese man scales a building to steal Pokemon cards and gets arrested. I would hope so. A Japanese man was arrested on Monday for allegedly descending a building by rope to steal Pokemon playing cards. Kensuke Nakanishi, an IT worker from Tokyo, used rope to scale down a 6-story building to steal trading cards. You could scale 6 stories and you can't pay $10 for some titties. Come on, fellas. We gotta get y'all lives together. Oh, man. He scales to steal trading cards worth $9,120 as well as $2,370 in cash. He made off with about 80 Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards and the cash, hoping to pay off a debt. According to the police in Tokyo, the 28-year-old man went to the building's roof before dawn on March 23rd to tie a piece of the rope to the railing. Using no safety harness, gangster Nakanishi climbed down about 5 meters and broke the window of a trading card store before entering it. Yeah, I'm impressed with this dude. My man, I've seen all the Mission Impossible movies. Like, I talk about doing it. My man said, yo, I'm out here doing this.
Yeah. He said the police quoted him as saying, I was in my high school rock climbing club, so I wasn't afraid of heights. Oh, yo. Let him keep some of the cards based on that bluster alone.
Real talk bars. He's like, this ain't no small order. This is nothing to me. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, this ain't nothing. No harness. My man climbed like 10 feet down the building. That's wild.
This is incredible work here, you know. Clearly, you know, like, this is just like, you gotta assume this guy's gonna get dates from this, right? Like,
no, no, because he's stealing Pokemon cards. No, I mean, no, absolutely not. No, I mean, and he's trying to pay a debt. So if he's got the kind of debts where he thinks, here's what I'll do, I'll scale a building and steal these cards in cash and use them to pay a debt, that man is not going to be able to afford
It's
drinks
fair.
at a
That's
restaurant.
fair.
Like, no, no, this is not getting him anything. A lot of grief.
You imagine you on a date, yo, can I get some extra appetizers? I mean, I only brought 2 Pikachus with me today, shorty.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
I get crazy.
You just throw down 2 cards and just like whatever that'll
You
get
know.
me, and it's like kick out, get out of here. Oh my
I love it. I
gosh.
love it. Sha, you said you had some news too to cover today, right?
Oh yes.
Let's
Oh
talk about
yes.
it.
Yes. Okay. So, all right. Let me bring this up. I've been very excited, having many discussions with myself. And I mean, I think we all are already aware of this news because it came out, about a week ago. But I just wanted to make sure that we discussed it because some things have come out in the aftermath of this story that maybe need discussing. Sesame Street introduces 2 new black Muppets to teach about race. Now, this is on CBS News, and both Black and Muppets, the first letters are capitalized, as they should be.
Okay.
I just want to go ahead and note that Black is a proper, it's a uppercase descriptor, and Muppets is a proper noun.
I hope they we got black figured out first though. Like, that'd be a shame if like both of those like campaigns like got one out at the same time. Like the Muppet community has been just as effective as we have been.
Yeah, I think actually the Muppets got their capital letter way before the Black did. But I mean, what are you gonna do? Sesame Street has often introduced new Muppets to teach children about topics like autism, HIV, and homelessness. Now, the show's 2 newest characters, 5-year-old Wes and his father Elijah, will offer a lesson on race. Sesame Workshop, the nonprofit behind the iconic children's show, announced this week. The show launched several new ABCs of racial literacy resources to teach parents and children about race and racism. In one video, Elmo wants to know why his friend Wes's skin is brown. Wes's dad, Elijah, explains melanin. The color of our skin is important to who we are, but we should all know that it's okay that we all look different in so many ways, Elijah says. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So here's the thing is that it's a resource they have. Sesame Street is definitely been into explaining these tough issues, not just like autism and homelessness, but also like if your parent is a recovering addict, how to deal with that.
Right.
And divorce. They got on that divorce train early, and that was one of my favorite ones. There used to be a clip of a bird singing about how she lives in 2 different nests, in 2 different trees. It was a really sweet song, but it also they since jazzed it up. I looked for it last week. It's a little bit jazzier. I don't like how jazzy it is. I liked it when it was a simple country song. It sounded very sad. In another video, like a character named Rosita experiences a racial incident in the grocery store. Rosita's mom and her friend Sophia help her coping and celebrate speaking Spanish. So, they've been talking about these kinds of things for a while. But this is notable in that when you look at these Muppets, these are the Muppets that are kind of, I guess, kind of based on people, and they are brown. They are brown Muppets. And so a lot of people they were just like, wait a minute, have Muppets been white this whole time? I thought they were all different colors. And it's like, okay, all right, look here. No, the Muppets have not been on Sesame Street. They have not only been white this whole time.
Right.
They've been in the mix. There's been a mix. Rosita is, they teach you Spanish. So they got all kinds. And also that Elmo even asks why his skin is brown is suspect because Elmo's a monster. So he shouldn't even be concerned with that shit. That's some old, hey, control your little kid question.
Thanks.
All right. But that's how Elmo is. I love Sesame Street. I have it tattooed on me, but I swear Elmo be putting me through it. So they are explaining race because when Sesame Street first came out, It was the whole idea was to speak to kids of New York City.
Right.
So we're talking about kids who hung out on stoops. And I think they kind of based it on like Harlem.
Yeah.
So their whole mindset was just like, we're talking to black kids, we're talking to brown kids. And I guess if a white kid is in here too, because it's a big mix. The thing is, we're all broke. And that's, that was the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so they didn't necessarily have like this kind of, which is wild since it started in 69, this kind of like, here it is at, we're all, it was just a mix of everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are some Muppets where their color is kind of a white flesh color. And then there are ones that are pink, and then there are whatever. And then there are the monsters, which to me is still a Muppet, but they're monsters. And I'm just like, they're just not whatever. I don't know. I just got very mad at people assuming like, there have been blind spots, certainly.
Right.
But like, and also this isn't their first black Muppet. Their first black Muppet was Roosevelt Franklin, who actually was purple. So there it was more of an attitude thing.
Okay.
Like I think he slapped everyone 5 and shit like that. But when you saw him, you were just like, oh, that's the black. You know what I mean? Like you knew immediately. Now, so and he was just kind of phased out or whatever, but yeah, so I don't know. And also of note with these brown Muppets is that it's the son Wes and the father Elijah, who the age of Elijah isn't in this piece, but I saw that he was a 38-year-old black Muppet, I guess. And but they are still workshopping the mother before they bring, and this isn't on the show. This is like their own, like their training materials, their digital training materials. Okay. So they're not on the show yet. Hopefully they will end up on the show and it won't be a big deal. It'll just be Wes and Elijah, right. But they are still workshopping the mother. Okay. And I'm just like, yeah, because you're going to want to get that right. Yes. So there are other black Muppets. There's the one, I think they're going to introduce the little girl, Gabrielle, who sang the whole I Love My Hair. There was a clip of a little black Muppet girl singing about all the things that she can do with her hair. And it's clearly she can put it in a bun, or she can get it braided, or she can straighten it, or she can, like all that kind of stuff. And that was a huge hit for Sesame Street. So they're going to like bring her out of Muppet retirement or whatever and have her in the mix. But yeah, you're going to want to get that.
Yeah,
black.
You can't drop the ball on that.
Yeah, y'all going to have to workshop that a little bit more. Also, and in closing about the black Muppets, Elijah the father, kind of cute. Could get it, maybe. Anyway.
Yeah, I was with this whole, with the idea of it. I feel like they're trying to raise awareness of it, of something that kids are asking a question of. By the same token, I didn't think I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I think they've been doing stuff like this for a long time. I guess this is the most direct because they are like brown colored as opposed to some of the other colors, but yeah, I thought this was cool. Really, my issue was like the son being named Wes. Like I feel like this is the second time that like clean cut young kid is named Wes on like a black show. We had like I feel like this is like the younger version of How to Get Away with Murder's Wes. Like it felt like the same character. Like this is him when he's 8. I wonder
if they even thought of that. I thought they probably figured Wes is easy for kids to say.
Okay.
Like it's just a quick like Wes, and you can go Wes, and you're like, oh, I guess they want Wes or whatever. But I don't know. I mean, we throw in them Elmo and Rosita, so shit.
They figure it out.
And it's possible. They're figuring it out, but I don't know. I mean, like making the dad Elijah, I was just like, oh, okay, so he went to Howard? Like, what's going on here? Really trying to figure out.
My man got the pop collar with his coat. Like, he doing it. Yeah. You got a fly look right there.
Yeah, he's a good-looking Muppet.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. And, I mean, I guess it's notable that he's brown. But I mean, they also like texture of hair.
yeah.
Like he got
He's got
you
a
know
look.
what I mean? He's got a fade. They put a fade on the Muppet. I can't.
Like I fully believe Elijah DJ'd in college. Like
Oh, for
definitely.
sure.
Like he was on a radio station at his school. Like he's gonna have a lot of like stories for his son. He's like, yeah, back in my day, I used to do that.
Yeah.
Over and over
Oh,
again.
man.
I like him.
Oh, yeah. Elijah for sure leaned with it and rocked with it.
I love it. One of my favorite memories growing up was when I was like 19. I drove my siblings were like kids. They were like 1 and 2. So like I had these I had the car seats for the kids in the back of my parents' car, and I would borrow my parents' car to go out chilling with my peoples. So like we had a tape deck, and I remember to calm the kids, we would play Sesame Street songs. And I just got into it. Like I just got caught up in the Sesame Street joints after a while. So like I used to like be fully thugged out, like in clothing shop, driving through Brownsville, bumping, tapping with Elmo, hard body, like ice grilling people on the corner, like yo, get the fingers tapping, happy Elmo.
That is frightening. I can't think of nothing scarier than seeing a very menacing face behind the wheel of a car playing Elmo with 2 car seats. And I'm like, what happened to the baby?
Nobody tests you, Sean. Nobody tests you on the block. I was driving down Mother Gaston in Brownsville, fearless. People would see that car, beat up Toyota Camry from 94, 2 car seats empty, windows down, no concern. Wintertime playing tapping with Elmo at full blast. Nobody would mess with me. They're like, yo, whatever he's dealing with it, and he's able to handle it. Whatever problems we could bring to him, he's dealt with worse. So yeah.
Oh my God.
Those are my realest years.
Also, make sure to write down "caught up with the Sesame Street joints" because that is an extremely funny turn of phrase. Caught up in the Sesame Street.
They was heat, yo. They were heat, Sha.
Yeah, no, they're definitely heat. Absolutely.
Yeah, bangers.
Yeah, growing up, I had shit on vinyl.
I'm telling
you. Sounds impressive, but that's just how they made music then. But they're all on Spotify. I think they're all of the old school Sesame Street like albums, like Big Bird Sings and all this other stuff. They're all on Spotify. So
I'm with it.
You can look those up. That's wild. I don't know if they have Electric Company joints on there because they had some good ones too, but
bringing all the heat back. Yeah, I was mad when they moved to HBO because to your point, I actually always felt that they were targeted toward like black and brown communities, people that weren't economically well off, and then they left to a network where you had to pay to see them. It kind of like went against the whole purpose of who the target demo was.
And they made the shows available to PBS, but later, first it had to run on HBO. And I was like, I get it because they're not getting the funding and everything, but this really isn't. But honestly, it all changed when Elmo came around. When Elmo came around, he signaled the beginning of like not letting your kids walk the streets anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it signaled like the suburb.
Yeah.
So yeah, Elmo kind of brought in like a whole suburban vibe that before it was just a city vibe, and it was New York City at that. So it was like, yeah, I know I'm 7, but my llama has to go to the dentist and I'm the only one home. So I got to walk my llama to the dentist in Manhattan. What's the problem? And so you're like, you're right, little girl. Go on and take your llama to the dentist. But with Elmo, it's just like helicopter parenting and kind of selfish kids who only refer to themselves in the third person. I don't know. Elmo kind of gets on my nerves. But, yeah, but then again, without his inquisitiveness, we don't know, I'm like, what's going on with his parents? Why can't his parents just talk to him? And they're there. His dad was in Desert Storm, I think. Like real talk. His dad was in the military. Like he fought in the war. He came back. Now he just wears like, he has the kind of goatee that's only on the chin, and he wears like bowling shirts. So I don't know what Elmo Senior has been through, but he's been through some shit. He's like a beatnik. And his mom, and I think just this year they introduced like what it's like to have a parent unemployed.
Oh wow!
To explain that to kids. So Elmo's mom lost her job. So really, I shouldn't shit on Elmo as much, but it's too late. Like the die is cast. So anyway, Elmo's mom had to explain that she just doesn't work now, but maybe she'll get a check. I don't know. They really had a lot. It's been a busy year for Sesame Street, having to explain shit to children. That I'm not mad. I'm not mad at them.
They're trying. They're shooting all those shots,
man.
And
because we ain't doing. Yeah. I don't know if parents right now are doing anything. Like they have to because they're with their kid all the time. This is probably the most that a lot of people have talked to their children like ever.
Real talk. So real convos in this house all the time. Way too intense. Yeah. So thank you to Sesame Street for allowing me to kind of like dodge some of those. I appreciate y'all help. Oh man. If you'd like to fund our puppet show in the future or anything of that nature, check out please like and subscribe to the show. It makes our future puppet show a little more possible. If you would like to rate the show and you're an Apple listener, please do so. 5 stars are welcome. 4 stars are cool too, but it's just why, don't do that.
Why would you do that?
I really appreciate all the recent ratings too. We've gotten quite a few. Much love to all those people. If you have a news article you want us to cover, please DM us directly at Silky Jumbo, at Gastor Almonte on Twitter or IG. We usually shout y'all out too when you send something in that we like. With all that said, thank you so much for listening. Always appreciate y'all. My name is Gastor Almonte, always with the homie Shalewa Sharpe. Catch y'all next week with another World Report. Peace.